So we cruised Virgin Voyages in August 23 on the Greek island Galley, and then in September 24 this year on the English Sights and European Delights.
And because we went on both cruises quite close together, we couldn't help comparing them, and we are doing this for our own personal experience and our own personal way we see things. So hopefully you get an insight into what our thoughts about our two holidays were.
Yeah, so we've got 8 differences for you that we noticed between the 2 cruises that we went on.
The first difference that we noticed was the Galley, and it was operating quite differently between the 2 trips. On the first trip, when we went to Greece, it was like you went to your table, the servers were very attentive, they came and asked you almost straight away, did you want to order anything? And it was quite awkward because there's no menus unless you ask for one, and you had to scramble around on your app to have a look, but they would go off and then bring back your food, which was excellent. But on this one, it was very busy. So on the most recent cruise we went on, which was the English Sights and European Delights, that was quite different. Like the servers held back a bit, let's say, and it was very varied depending on which server you had dealing with you, and everyone just seemed to be getting up and going to the actual place where they cook the food, and they were giving them the plates and walking back with them. And this kind of had 2 effects. It meant food, sometimes there was food being spilt on the floor, not very often, but there was quite a lot more of that sort of thing. And then there was a lot more people walking around, so it felt busier.
Yeah, and on the tables it was a bit different because there was no napkins like there was last time. They also came across and gave you a paper menu.
Yeah.
Last time if you wanted it. Having said that, there was a couple of servers that were amazing. And they were on our last cruise as well.
Yeah.
Really polite, really friendly. They even went and got us drinks as well.
Yeah, couldn't do enough for you, which was amazing.
Yeah, but to contrast that, you could tell that some of them, they saw that we were there and just purposely went and did something else rather than serve us.
Which was unusual because last time we didn't have that at all.
Yeah.
I just wondered whether there was a change in how they want things to be done, or if they were just thinking, because most people are getting up now that would want to get up. But they have these little sails on the menus, and you put the little flag up, a red flag, and then it tells the server that you are ready to order. But we had our flag up, and we had servers walking past, and crew walking past, and they kept looking at us, and they looked at the flag, but you could tell they just walked straight past, and then they went and talked to one of their friends.
Yeah.
And they were talking about other things. We were just a bit confused about what the actual process is.
Yeah, so instead we ended up going up and getting some of our food, and we got went to get the ramen, and then we got a little noodle bar timer thing, and it just went off, buzzed when we needed to collect it.
Yeah, so I think it has changed.
So it feels, they did have those before, but we never had to use them. But
no,
but it was okay.
I just think it has changed, and maybe it was
just busy.
I think it was because maybe it was really busy. One of our faves from last year, favourite restaurants on board, is Razzle Dazzle. Those of you that have been on Virgin before will know that it's a kind of burger, American style food, but it used to be more vegetarian focused. So, but it isn't, you have a naughty menu, which is meat, but it's kind of really just anything really now, I feel.
Yeah.
One of the things that we noticed was when you go there for brunch, before you have your before you get your main course or starter main course, they brought around a basket of pastries, and you could have they had this amazing apple Danish cruffin. You could just pick from the actual basket that showed you what there was there. This time, they didn't bring it over. You had to pick it from the menu, so you didn't get to see the things. They didn't have it in the basket. It was just a change from what and didn't make a big difference, but I just noticed it. I noticed these little changes.
Yeah. They still had a basket in the wake that they came around with.
Oh, did
they? Still did it there, but maybe it was just our luck or different service.
Yeah, maybe. Oh no.
If you hear a cat making a little cry, our cats come into the room, so you may hear cat noises on the video.
He doesn't obviously like it, but sometimes doesn't like it when we're both talking. He gets jealous of us talking to each other. Chips.
Third thing I noticed, something quite passionate to my heart, is fries. So the fries shipwide last year were quite nice, had a coating on, so I had them in all the restaurants. I know you're trying to laugh.
Sorry, it's funny. This is a John problem. John noted.
So I had them in Razzle Dazzle, really nice. But everywhere else on the ship, they didn't have these fries. They changed them up for, I felt like, cheaper fries. They weren't as nice. Did see other YouTube vlogs before we went on Resilient Lady, and they had got the fries. It might just be a supply might just be a supply issue. But I was looking forward to the fries.
Yeah, you were.
But I was all right. I managed.
I had to deal with your shock, surprise look when they brought out the fries, and you were like, in your disappointment. Like, from here.
And yes, I did try it everywhere to see if they had changed them.
Yeah. So I'm going to combine two together now. It's a bit of a cheat. It's an extra bonus one as well. The food was tepid. So nearly every restaurant we went to, the food wasn't as hot as you'd like it. It wasn't like cold, but it was not like hot enough for us really. And it was quite surprising because it was very busy. So you'd think there'd be a quick turnover. That was the other thing I wanted to throw in with this, was the queuing. Like when we went on the last cruise to Greece, we didn't really, you could book a restaurant, and during the cruise people were pulling out of the restaurants to go to the show, so you could change your time. And it was always quite a reasonable time. But with this one, it was like it was so overbooked. All the restaurants were booked up really quickly, even before the cruise. And then when you got onto it, it was really hard to change it. And when you got to the actual restaurant, there was a queue. Like, when we went to the wake, we couldn't believe it. It was a queue of like 14 people waiting to go in, and our time was ticking up. And I just assumed they were walk-ins. I thought they were just turning up. I think people just need to know not to cross me when I'm hungry. That's the main thing, and it's like trying to keep me from my food. It's like if I think I'm eating at a certain time, I have to eat at that time.
Yeah. So the fifth thing that we noticed was the swing. Again, not really a big thing.
No.
So last time, we don't think that it was hooked.
Here he goes.
But this year they put a little, do you call it a harness or hook?
It's like a little strap.
Yeah, and it just stopped it from going so far.
They were quite fun because you push them and you go quite high towards the actual, what do you call it, like the barrier for the side of the deck. But you didn't go over it, but it just had that feel. Okay, so number 6 one now, and I'm not really that bothered by this one at all. It's a novelty item on the ship, I think. It's the Catamaran Net, where you can look down and it's quite a long drop. Yeah, it's quite good for a second, like, you know, just for something to do, and it's quite good for a shot or a picture of you on it. But you had to go on it barefoot, and it was absolutely painful to walk on. And once you've done it. But that wasn't open, so obviously there's a problem with it, or they found some issue with it. In my opinion, I think they could do with a few more hot tubs or something over that side, you know, like, or something else like in that area.
Yeah.
Which would be much more usable all the time. Number 7 on our list is the steamer. They give you steamers if you ask for one. They give it to you for 2 hours, and they come and collect it 2 hours later. So you literally, if you've got a lot of clothes or you want to iron, you're literally going to spend the next 2 hours or an hour and a half ironing everything. You can't keep it for the entire stay. Now, the reason we mention this for is it's differed to last year, because last year they gave you the steamer for the whole day. You had it for a 24-hour period, which was really nice. Because like I don't know about you, but I iron something, and then when I go to wear it, I often forget to iron a sleeve or something, or forget to iron a part of it. It's quite common for me to do that, isn't it? I don't. So, like, to have it for 24 hours, it gives you an extra chance to check over your things before, so you're crease free. But 2 hours is better than nothing. It just was a change.
Yeah. So the last thing, the 8th thing that we noticed that was different, was just when we entered, the room wasn't set up right, all the same. So last year, when we went on in 2023, it was set up as a king bed, but then this year it was 2 single beds in the kind of sofa type configuration. Not really sure why. Perhaps and they thought we were brothers, because that has happened a few times when we've been away. When we went to San Francisco at the airport, they asked if we were brothers. So again, not a big problem, because you just asked them to change it and they did.
So what I noticed when we walked into the room, blinds come open with the lights. We had that in Greece, kind of like a welcoming thing. That didn't happen when we came in this time. And I've noticed on a few other people's it hasn't as well. So whether they've stopped that or whether they just forgot to put it on.
Maybe it has to be reset or something when the room's done.
What I thought was, originally we said, was it the room hadn't been finished?
Yeah.
And it was, we weren't sure whether when we arrived, whether the bedding was from the previous guests. Because we couldn't...
I don't think it was.
But it couldn't have been, because we were trying... But the room was definitely part finished. It wasn't completely, because there was like a bit of crumbs on the floor, weren't there? It hadn't been hoovered.
Yeah.
I think they just were very busy this time.
Yeah, lots to do.
Yeah. And have you been on Resident Lady a few times and noticed many differences? If you have, please can you put them in the comments below, just to see whether what we've said is like actually factually true for every journey, or if it just was the crew at the time and just like a one-off experience because it was busy. It would be interesting to know.
Yeah.
We're starting to think about 2025 and we're getting closer to booking, and we've got some dates in mind.
Before then, we've got a few UK trips booked and planned, and we're going to film those and share them with you. If you are subscribed, then thank you for subscribing. If you're not, then and want to see those trips, then please do. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching.
See you again soon.
Bye.